Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. As we head into this new offseason in March, we're already seeing some changes with the Raiders' offensive line. I'm going to go over a few of those changes right now. Now, the first player I want to talk about is Gabe Jackson, who was cut this week. I did mention in my offseason evaluation video in January that I felt only one of these guards would be back, either Incognito or Jackson. And with the announcement of Richie coming back last week, to me it was no surprise that he would be cut given this salary cap hit. Now, Gabe was part of that impressive 2014 draft class, and he really came into his own in the 2015 season. Unfortunately, we started seeing a regression after the 2018 season. Late in 2018, he fractured his elbow, went on IR, came back in 2019, had an MCL injury in training camp, missed the first half of the season there. And then 2020 was kind of a variety of things. He was, kind of testing positive, or he didn't test positive. Trent Brown did, but he was in proximity with the COVID, so he missed a game here and there. He had an undisclosed illness later on in the season, not related. I don't think he really was in sync, and that was part of the offensive line shuffling there in what we saw last season. And I think these injuries are starting to pile up, and you can really see it in his run blocking. PFF has ranked him under 60 the last two seasons in run blocking, and I think this is part of the reason why he was cut. Now, let's face it, we got a lot of money tied up into the offensive line, including Gabe here. I mean, $9.6 million, that would have made him the seventh highest paid right guard in the league. And I think we could go for cheaper options here without a significant decline in play quality and use that money to bolster up this terrible defense. Now, as far as possible replacements, these are the two I would be targeting at right guard here. First one, John Simpson. We drafted him as a rookie out of Alabama last year. He came in as part of this offensive line shuffle with the COVID and everything. He played admirably, and I think maybe this is his time to step up like Gabe Jackson did in his second year. Another option would be Denzel Good. He is an unrestricted free agent right now. If we could get him at, say, maybe 5-6 million range, I think that would be a great option here. And you could put either or here at the right guard position. Plus, it gives us some insurance with Richie Incognito, who's been battling injuries. I mean, he's great when he plays, but he's a road grader. I love him, but he gets hurt often, and he's getting up there in years. So if I were the Raiders, I'd want to retain both of them and let them fight it out for the right guard spot. Now let's turn our attention to the man who played to the right of Gabe Jackson. That's Trent Brown. Now, I did mention in my offseason review video, I thought that Trent would be a likely cap cut this offseason. As far as his gameplay, he's been a solid right tackle. And I did put an asterisk, and I'll tell you why a little bit later, but I think, especially at the tackle position at that time when he came in after 2018, it was kind of up in the air. We drafted Colton Miller. He didn't have a great rookie offseason. We signed Trent Brown to a huge deal, and when he was on the field, he did a great job. I remember him shutting down Khalil Mack in that Chicago game. And other games, we have a lot of pass rushers, obviously, in our division. And I think he's only given up one sack in the last two seasons. But I do have this asterisk for an obvious reason. And that is when he's actually on the field. Now, Trent's only played 16 games for us in the past two seasons. 50% of the time he's out there. And there's been rumor and speculation to his work ethic. Some people are saying that maybe, some of these injuries he has, he could have played through and he just decided not to. And then last year with the whole COVID thing, and there's some rumors that, I don't want to get too far into the rumor mill, but there's questions in his work ethic regarding this. And, obviously if there's some fire to that, that's a huge issue in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, when he is on the field, I think he's an absolute beast, but like I said, the dollars just don't make sense here. I can't see paying him $14 million this year, which would be the second highest paid right tackle, for basically part-time work here. And if you question his work ethic, that's even a bigger red flag. Now, I've been hearing that they're trying to shop him around, maybe for a third-round pick. I think if they get no takers as far as the trade, they're just going to straight cut him, which, again, unless they can restructure and whether or not he would be receptive to that, I just don't see any other option given that huge cap hit. As far as possible replacements at right tackle, we do have Sam Young on the roster, and he was decent when he was in there. The problem with him is he couldn't stay on the field. He just kept getting injured. I think he's a decent backup. I would not want to rely on him as our right tackle next year, starting right tackle for 16 games. I don't think he'll stay healthy. The guy I'd really want is Taylor Moton. I even did a separate video on that. I'll put a link in the description below talking about him. And then Ricky Wagner is a decent option. I think he, as far as gameplay, would be a step down from Trent Brown, but not a huge step down. And the price would be, I'm thinking about 9 or 10 million. I know that sounds a lot for a tackle, but honestly, I think it's a priority to have bookend tackles, especially in our division with all those pass rushers. If not, then Carr's going to be compromised. He's going to be on his back, and the offense is just not going to go anywhere. So, what do you think? Do you agree with the organization's moves on the offensive line, or do you think we should have kept Gabe and/or Trent despite the cap hit? Put your comments below. I'm interested to hear what you got to say. If you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and supporting this channel, and as always, Goat Raiders.